It's Beer O'Clock, and it's Beer O'Clock Revisited, a little show on the side where we revisit beers we've reviewed before, in the hopes of either reclaiming our dignity or just comparing our taste buds of now to those of years gone. My name is Mark, and joining me is my beer buddy from then and from now. It's Steve. Hello, Steve.
Hi Mark, how you doing?
I'm alright, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, mate.
Very good. This episode we're looking back at that Belgian favourite Duvel, but with a slight twist. We're tasting it alongside the newish release Duvel Tripel Hop, which has bumped up Duvel's already weighty 8.5% ABV to up a full percentage point to 9.5%. Now, we last reviewed this beer on May 5th, 2013, and that episode is notable for two reasons. First, it was the first episode where we actually had a guest, which was Nate from Booze, Beats and Bites, and it's also where we learnt about yeasty Belgian-y flavours, and that we can say that that's yeasty Belgian-y stuff, which was quite new for me.
It was, I think, up until that point, we just used to refer to it as having that Belgian-y taste.
Yeah, the continental taste.
Yes.
So we've got these two beers. We're going to taste them side by side as we go along and see what we can get out of it, because that's 2 years now, or thereabouts, and I think we've both become a little more accustomed to those Belgian-y flavours. So,
I think so.
So
and I think we might be able to describe a few more flavours this time round.
So hopefully we can appreciate them a bit more as well. I don't remember us disliking this beer. I thought we both quite liked it.
No, it's a beer that I've had a few times before and a few times since as well. And it's one that on a number of occasions has put me on my backside as well.
At 8.5%, I'm not surprised. It's a good thing they only come in little bottles. Although you say 330 mils. I said that last time.
That. Yeah, they are. They might be little and dumpy and they look stumpy.
Yeah.
But they're still 330 mils.
Yeah. I think I made that mistake last time, thinking, oh, this will be easy. Anyway, let's get this first one out of the way, or at least poured, and that is the normal Duvel.
Oh, it's got a lovely aroma on it. I mean, in hindsight now, that's not what I'd call an over Belgian-y aroma. There is a hint of obviously the Belgian yeast in there, but it's not overpowering. What you know, a lot of big, fresh, crisp, sort of grassy-like flavours coming out of that.
Yeah, and the lovely colour on it as well, that lemony colour. That is just, you look at that and you think, I want to get that down me.
Yeah,
quite an
lovely,
active pouring one.
golden.
I don't know how yours is, mate.
Big, yeah, look at that big white fluffy head on that as well. It's just a thing of absolute beauty.
Right, shall we get into it, buddy?
Yeah, let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
You certainly pick up the Belgian flavours straight away on the flavour.
Definitely, you get those big floral European yeast notes coming in.
Yeah, that's a great word for it. Floral. That's something that I really associate with the with the European hops, and in particular the Belgian yeast as well. That's coming through, and it just gives way to this lovely. It's a sweet finish. It's a very dry finish as well. There's a little bit of bitterness in there, but it's not a massive bitter finish. It's just a real. Looking at this now at 8.5%, this is a worryingly easy beer to drink.
It is, yeah. Like you're saying, those kind of refreshing, clearing. Bittery, only slightly bitter hop notes coming in kind of help ease that yeasty profile through. And I wouldn't peg this as 8.5. I think maybe 6.5, because it is. I mean, it's such a light beer as well.
Yeah,
some of these Belgian-y ones, they really have that kind of thick, viscous continental profile to them. What's funny is it kind of has a kind of hint of a wheat beer coming through as well, just a very faint hint of that, leaning almost to a lager. But I guess that's that's the different yeast notes coming in, the kind of more high floral notes coming in as well. Lovely beer. Now, do you remember? Sorry, go on.
I was going to say it's a lovely beer. It's a really enjoyable beer, and it's a great comparison that you make there to it being very lager-like as well, because it does have that feel of being a really good lager. The styling on it, like you say, all the floral notes and everything, it just works so well in a glass.
Yeah. Now, do you remember what we said about this on the last episode?
I have to confess, I don't.
I'm guessing that once Nate told us that the weird flavours were coming from the yeast, or the weird aromas, we just basically spent the next half hour saying this tastes and smells quite Belgian-y or yeasty. But
that would be half of the call, wouldn't it? With us, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but it has that really nice, refreshing profile that you would expect from something like a saison, without, you know how saisons can sometimes be quite tart.
Yeah,
and be, in a nice way, quite lemony and really high with the light grassy flavors. This is kind of middle of the road between that and heading towards maybe a straight out ale, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, if you want to call a beer that comes in at 8.5% middle of the road, mate, you go for it.
I'm talking flavour wise.
No, I mean it's interesting because the flavour profile on it is so good. It masks that high ABV, and that's why I say, you know, this is a beer that a couple of times back in the day when I didn't really know too much about beers, seriously put me on my backside, at least on one occasion that I can remember, and on many other occasions that I choose not to remember as well.
Well, considering I was scrambling around trying to find a bottle of Duvel because I thought that my local Waitrose near work had one, and it turns out the only Duvel they sell is the big fuck off bottle size, the ones that are like that big, the size of your leg.
Yeah.
And I almost bought one of them thinking, I won't finish this on the night. I can put it away and put a little topper in the top. But I'm glad that I didn't go for that, because I probably would be tempted to finish it and just went for the dumpy little one.
Yeah, it's such an enjoyable beer. It's such a nice beer. It's perfect for the summer as well,
yeah.
Because it does have that lovely crisp finish to it. It's got that lovely crisp profile to it as well. It really is a stunning beer.
Yeah, if you're having a barbecue with people who really appreciate quality food and quality drink, roll this out with your steaks and with your chicken and with your little veggie kebab things, or whatever the fuck you want to eat on your classy barbecue, and have a classy beer instead.
Yeah,
it's a perfect beer out in the sun with your classy middle class friends.
And it's so widely available as well, isn't it?
Is.
That's the thing. Like you say, you tried. Your instant thought was to go to Waitrose for it, and then when you text me saying I couldn't get any in Waitrose, I was like, go to one of the big four.
Yeah,
they all stock it. It is that widely available.
Yeah, no, I just walked into the shitty Morrison's down the road. There we go, shitload of Duvel. Right, shall we? While we let the rest of that Duvel sit, and we're going to sip through that as we go along, and probably into the evening after we've finished recording. Let's pour out this triple hop, which is... Did this only come out this year?
No, this is something that Duvel have been doing every year.
Okay.
Not sure how far back they go, but I've certainly had the last two. Basically, what they do is this is called it's a limited edition beer that they produce every year. Duvel Tripel Hop. This is 2015 edition. Essentially, what they do is they add a third hop to the brew in the dry hopping stage, and they change that third hop every year to give it a slightly different flavour of the beer. Now, I think I'm right in saying the last 2 years. 2 years ago, it was Citra. So you can imagine what that would have done to the flavour profile of Duvel. Yeah. Last year it was the very much in hop of 2014, which was the Mosaic hop. And this year it's a brand new hop called Equinox, which is a new American breed of hop, which is actually a hybrid between a number of other US hops as well. So I'm expecting from this US hop, I'm expecting lots of citrus, lots of lemon, lots of grapefruit, all those big flavours that you get from your US hops going into this.
And if you're having problems finding triple hop, our friend or friends at Beautiful Beers that are offering our listeners a 10% discount this season have it in stock. So let's go to beautifulbeers.co.uk, type in Duvel, you'll find it right there, and check out our website for the 10% discount code and get 10% off that beer.
Excellent. That's good to know, because I don't think there are too many places left that have got this year's triple hop. So it's nice to know that our listeners can still get their hands on some.
Yeah, if you're looking for the classy stuff, Renee's got it.
What is that to have with your middle class barbecue and friends?
He's quite middle class, is Renee. Right, this has a really interesting aroma on it.
Yeah, it's completely different, isn't it? I mean, if you compare it to the solid, straight out European grassiness of the Duvel, you get a snifter of this, and you are getting, there is lemon and lime there straight away for me on that. I mean, it's same colour, maybe not quite as big fluffy white head as I got on the Duvel, but then I've got it decanted into a slightly different glass, so it wouldn't. This is nowhere near as big as the head you've got on yours.
I had the only other. I put my first one into a Teku glass. The other only one is the Adnams ship glass.
Yeah,
but it's got a massive 6-finger head, really really bubbly, lovely clear though. It's like a lager clear. It's gorgeous, and like you're saying, really really aromatic. It's got that lemon and lime. Equinox being an aromatic hop, so you would expect it to have quite a different smell on it. Anyway, let's get into it, mate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. For the second time. Cheers.
Okay, that does give it a different twist.
It does, but it's so good.
Yeah.
as well.
That kind of takes that Belgian-y curve off it and gives it a bit more backbone.
Yeah, that's a really good observation, mate. It has taken out that Belgian-y context from the beer. It's taken out the flavour you get from the yeast, and what it's replaced it with is this big citrusy lemon lime hoppy flavour that's in there. It's almost beginning to nudge it slightly towards being kind of more of an American IPA, not a massive, ridiculously hopped one, but it's very much in the style of kind of the West Coast IPAs that you get that have got that lovely big sort of citrusy flavours coming through on them. I mean, it's that's remarkable actually, how the addition of a hop at the dry hopping stage changes a beer from being one thing to something else.
Yeah, if you imagine some of the clear, strong American pales you can get, this is kind of what it's leaning towards. Lovely, lovely beer. And great for those who don't like the big Belgian flavours. Not that Duvel's is a big Belgian flavoured beer, but you still do get that twist to it. But this is like you wouldn't think this was Duvel, really.
No, I don't think I'd be able to pull that out of a blind tasting to say that was obviously the triple hop version of the Duvel, because it's almost like the original beer is completely lost.
Yeah, I am getting like the nasal cavity floral float around that lagers give, but without that medicinal aftertaste you can get from some lagers, from the lager yeast.
I just want to take a step back. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to have a try of the original one.
Okay.
Now my mouth's got used to the triple hop, just to see see if there's some comparison in there that I can make. All right, well, I'm still getting the big kind of Belgian flavour, the floralness coming from the original.
Yeah.
It's a much smoother drink, though. There seems to be something with the triple hop. There's a lot more effervescence in the drink. There's a lot more carbonation in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's more alive on the tongue.
Yeah.
as where the other one is just smooth. It's easy to drink. It's enjoyable. You're probably going to take your time over it a little bit more. Probably going back to the comparison that you were talking about with the original one in terms of saisons, it's probably got more of a saison-y feel in the mouth in terms of the effervescence and of the drink, but the flavors coming through are just they're just so crisp and so moreish. It's almost like drinking a 9.5% glass of 7 Up.
I would say that the 9.5% triple hop kind of belies its strength a little bit more than the 8.5 normal Duvel.
Very much so.
If you were to drink that, you would think, I mean, still nowhere near as giving away 9.5% as you would expect. It's still a very drinkable beer. It's still pretty light for what is its alcoholic weight, but I think it definitely packs a bit more punch. Like I was saying before, it's got a bit more backbone to it with that Equinox in there, I think. And they may have taken a different approach in the brewing, I don't know, to try and lean it towards an American style a little bit more. But drinking that normal Duvel again, you can immediately pull out the fruit peel flavours and the kind of really round, mouthy fruit flavours, whereas the other one is just, hello, I'm American Hop and I'm coming to crash your party type thing. And you can all take a back seat because I'm here.
Yeah, I'm taking over. I'm here. I've bought my own tunes. Let's get the party started.
So how long have they been doing the triple hop? Do you know?
Well, as I say, this is the third time I've had it. But then that probably marries up with how long we've been doing the show, mate. So they may have been doing it long before that. So as I say, the first time I had it was the Citra version of it, which, as you can imagine, Citra going in the dry hop, you know exactly what that beer is going to taste like. Last year's one was with Mosaic. Again, it was from. I've drunk a lot of beer between that and now, but Mosaic was a hop that was new to the scene last year. A lot of single hop beers being produced using Mosaic, and now, as I say again, they've produced another one this year using Equinox, which again is another new hop. So this is one that I think is going to become one of those annual things for me. I'm going to start searching out the triple hop and start looking forward to enjoying that every year when it's released.
Yeah, it's nice to have these little things that you look forward to every year, like the Unhuman Cannibals coming out, now the triple hop. You get, the Fuller's Vintage box that we buy and then never drink.
Yeah,
because we have this mythical cellar in our spare room. Of the two of these, mate, which one do you prefer? And I'm going to put money down on which one.
You know what? I think I'm gonna take your money and I'm actually gonna make you lose this bet because I prefer the original over the triple hop purely because it's I think there's a lot more going on with the thank you. I'll take that fiver and it's straight into the back pocket. There's a lot more going on with the flavour. The two hops that are in the original version, Saz and Syrian Goldings, work really well together to produce those floral notes and to give it the really smooth finish. I think the thing that lets down it doesn't let it down. I'm not going to say that because it's not being let down by anything. The thing that gives the original the edge over the triple hop for me is that smoothness. I think the extra carbonation that seems to be in the bottle of the triple hop, the more lively it is in my mouth, is making it a little bit more of a challenge to drink, shall we say. Yeah. They're both fantastic beers, don't get me wrong. But I think out of the two, I think I prefer the original.
Me too. I think as lovely as the triple hop is, and it's a great beer, if you put that down in front of any beer lover, I think they would say, this is a very drinkable, decent pale ale, but it loses the Duvel characteristic, I think. The thing about Duvel is that it is such an accessible beer in the Belgian style, and you do get those lovely soft Belgian yeast flavours coming through on top of those hops that you mentioned. But with the Equinox, it just kind of cuts out the Belgian aspect to it altogether.
Yeah.
And says, here's an American
it almost
style
cuts
pale.
through it, doesn't it? Yeah.
It's like, here's an American style, but I wanted a Duvel with an extra hop in there. I still wanted to get some of those Duvel flavours. So, yeah, it both goes to the original Duvel. That was quite fun.
that was fun. I'm glad we've put this little twist on the on the revisited show this time. Look out for a few more of these little twists as well on revisited.
Yeah, so these revisited episodes, as anyone who's listening to the show regularly will know, they're coming out every month for the next few months. We've got a few more lined up, and they're all looking back at beers we have reviewed in the past. Right, I think that might be about it, Steve, don't you?
Yes, mate. I've thoroughly enjoyed tonight's experiment, and I'm looking forward to kicking back on the sofa to finish off these beers.
Me too. Right, until next time, buddy.
See you soon, mate.
Bye-bye.